Hi friends, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com and welcome back to another video. So today I am breaking out one of those fantastic scents I recently showed you from Power Poppy, and this one's called Season Greetings, and yes, I'm coloring that Santa. I'm super excited about this one. If you guys watched my video sharing the holiday collection from Power Poppy with you guys, you know I said in that video this was going to be the first one I colored. So I stamped it out on gray toned paper using some black ink, and I pulled out all of my pencil crayons. Now, I don't do a lot of pencil crayon videos because this is a process. So I start off with the skin color here, going in with the darkest color, and then slowly working my way through to the lighter ones. I did pull out some reds to give him a nice little cherry nose. If you're interested in the specific colors I am using my Caran d'Ache and my Luminance pencils. I will have a list of them in the bottom based upon what I'm coloring. Like, this will be under skin tone, and then there'll be like the red and the beard and the tan shirt and the white fluff and the tree, etc, etc, etc. To tell you guys exactly what colors are used in each spot, because I'm not going to go through and try and rattle them off fast enough as fast as I am coloring with them here. I have sped this up to 3 times its original speed, and I don't always film all the different layers I do. So, like for the hat here, I'm going in with the darkest color, which I know is the Carmine Lake. It's one of the new colors from Luminance. That's why I know what it is off the top of my head. And then I'm just slowly going to blend out into the lighter colors. And you'll watch as I go through this. I do show you guys multiple layers that I do on these. Most of these have 2, 3, 4, etc. layers until I got the depth of color I wanted and the blending I wanted. I didn't color it to the point that everything was one solid color. You can still see the paper through it in places. But I wanted to show you guys what colors I'm using, but I didn't want to make you guys watch me color for 4 hours, because that's the reality of colored pencils. It takes me a long time, it's a lot of layers, and it's a process, but I absolutely adore the way everything looks at the end. So it's kind of like, are you guys okay with like not seeing the entire process in order to see me use colored pencils more? I really don't know where to go with that. If you heard that, it was just my lip balm. I don't want to have to film and edit down like 5 hours worth of footage. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. That's why you don't see me film a lot of colored pencil stuff, but they are one of my favorite mediums when it comes to card making. Like, I would say watercolor is 1, pencil crayons is 2, markers is probably near the bottom of the pile, but lots of people have markers and use markers, so I film a fair bit with them. It's kind of like that whole, do what the people you think, what you think most people use type deal. So I'm really not sure where to go with the whole colored pencil thing, but definitely leave your thoughts in the comment box down below. I read everything. I may not always have time to reply to everything because I do work a full-time job on top of this, but I do read it all. So you can see here I did that first layer of color, and now I'm going back through and I'm following the exact same process with the exact same colors in the exact same order. It's definitely just a process of layering and layering and building, because you don't want to go too heavy-handed at the start, simply because you're mapping in where everything is going to go, and it's easy to kind of even adjust your darkest colors with lighter ones on top if you mess up, if you use light layers as opposed to burnishing it all out right off the start. Like you can see on his, what is that called? Suspender on the side with the shovel there. It was really, really light because I had put too much white in there, and now I'm just darkening it up because I thought it was way too bright. And you can always do the opposite and brighten up the darks if you're working in light layers before you get to the end of it. So I have a blast doing this. It's super fun. This image is the cutest thing in the entire world. I loved coloring this little guy up. I thought he was super fun and exciting. If you don't follow a lot of the other things I do and aren't friends with me on Facebook to see when I post my gigungous plant collection, I have approximately, 120-ish plants in my house. So when things are plant themed or flowers, as you've noticed, I'm kind of drawn to them, and I think it's simply because of my other hobby. They're one of my favorite things to paint and color and do all that fun stuff with. So this guy was super cute because it's like he's going out to plant his Christmas tree, and I thought it was adorable. So for his shirt here, I didn't want to make it white because I wanted to do his fluff white. So I went in with some grays and lighter browns and tans and taupey colors just to make it a little bit more of a dirty color as opposed to being a stark white like I'm going to do his beard and his fluff. Just a little bit of definition without having to make it a color. I didn't want to make it green and I didn't want to make it red, so that's kind of the way it looked. It looks pretty white right now, but once I go in and do his beard here, you'll see how much color is actually in the shirt that you don't really notice until those other colors are brought into the picture here. So I started off with 3 different tones of gray here, and now I'll pull in my white once this is done and go to town with the white to make sure that you understand it's Santa Claus and it's white and the rest is just shadows. So I'm coloring that beard in. I know you lose a lot of your line work when you're coloring with colored pencils. When I get to the end of it, what I'll do is I don't actually show you guys the process. I just show you the black pencil. I take my black Faber-Castell Polychromos pencil because it's a harder pencil than the Luminance, so it holds the tip a little bit better in order to go through and draw over every single artist drawn line in this stamp. I do spend the time to trace over all the lines, especially when I do something in pencil, because you do lose those lines and it kind of looks a little bit muddied and dirty if you don't add those black lines back in. You can also stamp and do it in a no line color, then you don't have to do this, but I wanted the black lines for this one. So for his fluff, instead of using a warm gray, I went in with a cold gray for the shadows, and I just used one cold gray, and then I'm going back over it with the white, and then I'll go back in and add a little bit more a shadow again with the cool gray. But he is so cute. He's super cute. This guy's awesome. I thought he was adorable. Like I said when I did the video sharing all of the stamp sets, this image was my favorite, and this was the one I was like, I have to color that. I think the next one I want to do is the moose on the Forest Fellas stamp set, because I thought that one was adorable too. Which is funny that I'm not leaning towards all the florals and the wreaths and things. It's all like the critter and the Santa and stuff that wouldn't be normally typical of me. So we're jumping into our Christmas tree here, and I'm going in with 3 different greens, and then I'll brighten it all up with a little bit of white. White colored pencil is probably my most used pencil. It goes into virtually every color combination I have, just to make sure I have some nice highlights and some nice bright points in it. If you look here, like I'm filling this in now with the last green, and it does look pretty flat, but once I go back in with the white pencil, it brings it and gives it a little bit more pop of color and brightens up that green because I'm blending over top of it. And I just really like the versatility that a white pencil gives you, not even just in terms of having white, but just brightening it all up. Coloring in the little flower pot or tree pot there with some browns. What else is left here? Oh yes, the handle on the shovel. We're getting close to the end of the coloring on this one. Like I said, I sped this one up to 3.5 times its original speed. I didn't want to speed it up anymore because when I did, it skips things and it's just not quite as nice to watch. So I know it's a lot of coloring in this one, but I'm really happy with it. So for his boots, I did a black and a slate gray on those to give him some nice dark boots. And you'll see I haven't touched the buttons, and I do go in and I give him gold buttons at the end because I thought it was super cute to have some gold buttons. For his shovel, I'm using that slate gray that I used in his boots and the white pencil just to give it a little bit of a metallic look there. And see how it's got some shape and some depth with using that darker gray. Adding the blue and yellow little tree ornaments to the bulbs there. And then we go through and outline we add some background. So I add a little bit of blue in certain corners and stuff around his body. And then I'll go in with the white and blend them out. It looks really, really stark on the video. The white looks like it's kind of overpowering, but it's really not. You'll see in the pictures it's a little more subtle than it looks here on the video. But I like it because it gives him a little bit of a glow around him, like he's super important, and it kind of brings your focus to him. I do cut down the piece of paper after just to focus in on Santa. I didn't want the entire gray piece of paper, but I wasn't entirely sure what I was going to do for the background, if I was going to go all out and spend a ridiculous amount of time and color an entire scene, or if I was just going to cut him out and put him on top of some pattern paper, which is what I decided to do because I really liked the way he looked here. So there's my black pencil, and I went around and outlined the whole thing. You can see how sharp those black lines are now. And this is my Fine Tack palette, just working on getting a little bit of gold. 2 little dots on his buttons to make them shiny, and that's it for that one. I pulled out some old Christmas paper here and cut that one out. Then I have our little Santa, and I'm going to cut a little bit of tan, beigey colored twine to pop around Santa Claus here. Adhere that on the front of the card and tie a bow. You guys, that is it for this one. I didn't put a sentiment on the front. I will write a Merry Christmas sentiment on the inside. Personal choice. You could always add one to the front if you wanted to. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would love a thumbs up. It helps the channel out greatly. Again, all the links and color names will be in the description box down below. If you aren't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys very soon for another video. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope everybody's staying safe. Bye for now.